It's a nice, crisp night for football down here in Ulysses. Quite a few Goodland fans have traveled the 150 miles from Goodland to the southwest Kansas City for this game between two real Class A powers. Ulysses is 6-2 for the season. Their two losses against two very large schools, the Hayes Cadets 14-13 and the Guyman, Oklahoma 20-19. Guyman in the Panhandle has an enrollment of over 1,200, we're told. Nearly 3 times as much as Ulysses and just about that much over Goodland. Ulysses is a high-scoring team, much the same as the Cowboys in their record so far this season. Ulysses has racked up 182 points against 53 for their opponents. Goodland has amassed a total of 268 points against 45 for their opponents. Both teams are expected to rely heavily on their strong, defendable ground attack. However, both teams are also capable of unleashing an effective air attack when the opportunity presents itself. Looking over some of the scores of the season for Ulysses, they opened with a 32-0 rout over Leota, then that Hayes Cadets defeat. They came back to blank Beaver, Oklahoma 13-0, and then Liberal 27-0. In that Liberal game, Jim Dowden, their quarterback, scored all 27 points, including 3 extra points. A very talented offensive player, we're told. Jack Dowden, we see, is his first name here. Then Ulysses went on to defeat Hugoton 27-7, another large school. Then they had a breather against St. Mary of the Plains of Dodge City 39-6. The Guyman defeat was next, and then last weekend 12-6. They won over a very inspired Scott City team that's come on strong here in the past season. Reviewing quickly Goodland's record, opening with a 13-0 win over Dodge City, 30-0 over St. Francis, and 38-7 over Hoxie. Then they came on to defeat Oberlin 59-19, and then blanked Oakley 53-0 in an evening that saw everything go just right for the Cowboys. Then back the following week to Skunk Norton 39-0, and then that real close game against the Atwood Buffaloes, always a close one, 20-19, Goodland barely winning it. And then last weekend a real thriller, giving them the league championship and keeping their record unblemished, a 16-0 win over Colby. Some of the players to watch out for in Ulysses, some of their top scorers, at least in statistics we were able to get a hold of for the last 4 games. Jack Dowden, the quarterback, Troy G., Mike Brewer, Jerry Finch, Rod Martin, and the tall end Wills. Kay will be bringing you the starting lineups in just a moment. Goodland scoring so far in the season: Davy Jones with 74, Fortmeyer with 49, Green 42, Rooney 30, Peter 18, Franklin 13, Eisenhagen 8, Sparks and Sutton 7 each, Danny Jones, cousin of Dave, 6, and Mike Martin has 14 extra point kicks to his credit. The Cowboys are without the services tonight of a mainstay in the defensive line, Jack Graves, at least a limited service if anything, as he cut his right hand in practice pretty severely earlier in the week, requiring 7 stitches to close the wound. Graves is a big 205-pound junior at the middle guard defensive position. Missing from the 33-man traveling squad was third-string quarterback Paul Sutton. He's another junior who twisted an ankle this week in practice. Everyone else in good shape, raring to go for that perfect season's record and protection of their number 1 rating in Class A and a tie for 5th in the Associated Press ratings. Ulysses has a pair of 220-pound tackles that the stalwart Goodland defensive line must contend with tonight, and one of them, named Blem, I believe was referred to by a scout as one of the best defensive linemen he had seen in a long time. Left tackle, 225-pounder, Robert Blem. He's one of the starters tonight, no doubt. And an added thing to the game tonight was the long journey of the 100-piece Sherman Community High School Band, who will perform at halftime the same Hollywood Bowl specialty feature that they performed during the Atwood-Goodland game a couple of weeks ago. And the Ulysses fans think that's a pretty good idea, because during a little run-through a while ago they received a very appreciative hand. Like we say, a crisp night, temperatures in the low 40s or possibly in the high 30s thus far. Wind, let's see, that wind is coming due out of the southwest, and it isn't too hard yet to affect the passing game of either team should they desire to throw that ball around tonight. Bill Shockey brought 33 boys along. That's 3 teams. The defensive team, of course, made up from any one of those 3 11s. Teams are warming up on the field. Kay, we'll turn it over to you now. as we get the starting lineup for this Cowboy Booster Club presentation, the final game of the season, the Goodland Cowboys versus the Ulysses Tigers. All right.
All right, thanks, Jack, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to our final broadcast of the season here on behalf of the KLOE Cowboy Booster Club. And, of course, in a couple of weeks, or perhaps a little longer, we'll begin with our basketball games of the year. The starting lineups very quickly now. First, we'll remind you that Goodland has won the toss and will receive, and will have the wind in their face. Ulysses will kick off, defend the south goal, and have the wind at their back. For Goodland, the same starting lineup in the backfield: Sutton, Jones, Green, and Fortmeyer. At center, Liljegren. At the guards, Fell and Martin. At the tackles, Sadoff and Stacer. And at the ends, Eisenhagen and Becker. We'll pick up Ulysses for you as much as we can before the kickoff, which is just about to take place. At the ends will be Steve Fox, 160 pounds, and Larry Will, 160 pounds. At the tackles, Bob Blem, 225 pounds, and also Bob Segrist, 220 pounds. We're all set to go. We'll pick up the rest of them for you in just a moment. The referee is over at the sidelines now. I believe he's going to, Coach Herb Bender comes out onto the field to have a look at another football. Maybe we'll have time for the rest of them here. At the guards will be Jim Peterson, 160 pounds, and Dick Joyce, 165. At center, Rod Martin, 160 pounds. In the backfield for Ulysses, Jack Dowden at quarterback, 155. And at the halfbacks, Troy G. and Mike Brewer. At fullback, Jerry Finch. All set to go. Back deep now for the Cowboys is Jones in the middle. On the sides, Fortmeyer and Franklin. Referee talking with the kicker out there now for Ulysses, who is Steve Fox, saying a few words to him, and I believe we're all set to go now. Crowd on both sides are up on their feet, and we're all set to go. Ulysses and Goodland. Ulysses 6-2 on the year. Goodland 8-0. The final game for both ball clubs this year. The KLOE Cowboy Booster Club merchants in Goodland, happy to bring you this broadcast again today. Here's the booth. Long kick coming downfield. Jones comes in on it, takes it on the run at the 10. He's to the 15. He's to the 20, picking up blockers now. To the 25, to the 30, to the 33-yard line. Brought down back there by number 82 for Ulysses, and on the kicking team, and that would be Ed Woven. So we're set to go. We're all underway. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys on their own 33-yard line. Craig Liljegren breaks up over the ball for Goodland. Ronnie Sutton at quarterback has Fortmeyer flanked to the right. Jones. Here's a handoff to Fortmeyer. Around the right side he goes. Cuts back in. Gets across the 35. A flag goes down as Fortmeyer gets to the 37-yard line. A flag down on the play. And we'll watch for the officials' signal as to what the infraction was. They're talking it over with Ulysses. Boy, these two big tackles out there for the Tigers really stand out. They're big boys, 225, 220. Offsides against Goodland. Offsides against Goodland. Let's see if they'll take the gain or the penalty. Fortmeyer made close to 5 yards, I believe, on the play. Jones, Davy Jones, and Gerald Stacer, the captains for the Tigers tonight, talking it over. I believe they're going to take the penalty. Down will remain the same. They will not lose a down on the thing, and possibly the gain was as much or a little more, but at least they'll still be first down. Well, they stepped her off 6 yards, looks like. It's 1st and, according to the sideline chain across the way, it's 1st and 4. Just underway, no score in the ball game. Again, Fortmeyer flanked to the right this time. Here's a handoff, goes up the middle to Jones, still on his feet, up close to the 40. Or he's brought down up close to the 45, we should say. He's across the 40. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys as Jones picks up 5 yards up the middle. Here's Tom Rooney into the ball game for Goodland, and Dennis Eisenhagen comes out. No score, we're just underway. The Cowboys have it 1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line. 3 across on the tee this time, no flanker. Here's a quick opener up the middle, goes to Fortmeyer. He gets up to about the 48-yard line. Gets about 4 yards, maybe 5. Give him 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Rooney comes back out now as Eisenhagen goes in. A pretty breezy night here at Ulysses tonight with cool temperatures. Here's Sutton fumbles. Sutton picks it up, and it is snowed under back there. Sutton attempted to make the handoff and fumbled. A loss on the play moves the ball back to the 44, a loss of about 4 yards. Rooney comes back in now as Eisenhagen comes out. Third down coming up, and third and about 10 to go. Time out on the field for the Cowboys. Members of the Booster Club tonight, helping make these broadcasts possible throughout the year, include the Boyington Motel and Annex, your home away from home. Also, Horton's Body Shop, complete auto body repair and service for everyone. Also, Montfort Elevator, George Egbert, where you get the top price for your grain. Here's Jones around the left side. He's still on his feet across the midfield stripe. Goes to the 45, close to the 1st and 10. Jones carrying for Goodland, gets close to 10 yards on the play as he moves down to the Ulysses 46-yard line. A flag is back on the downfield, and it's going to be coming up against the Cowboys, looks like. Mike Veneri comes into the ball game. All right, they're going to bring the play back. It's going to be against the Cowboys. Looks like it could be a major penalty. 15 yards against Goodland. That's nullifying that good 10-yard run by Jones. Moves it clear back to the 31-yard line. On the 31. Rooney and Veneri are in there now, and Sutton and Eisenhagen are out. Here's Fortmeyer, flanked wide to the left. Here's Veneri fading for the pass, has 3 men. Short pass over the middle is incomplete. Intended out there for Becker, the short man. Ball's incomplete, and Eisenhagen and Sutton come back in now. So it'll be 4th down. 4th and it's like about 25 to go for the first and 10. Penalties hurt the Cowboys. A major penalty a moment ago for holding. Here's the snap to Jones in punt formation against the wind. He gets a nice kick coming downfield. It bounces on the Ulysses, takes a Ulysses hop, and it is down by the Cowboys. Mike Martin downfield to put it down on the 43-yard line. So we'll see the Ulysses Tigers in action for the first time tonight. They'll start activity from their own 43. Jones kicking into the wind from back about the 31. This breeze is pretty good tonight, about 20 miles per hour at least. Here's Jack Dowden at quarterback. Spins, gives off to his left